Hey, it's Big Jeff coming to you with something new that we're doing on our YouTube. We're calling it the New Arrival Weekly Video, where we're going to take a few items, different brands, and bring them to your attention, get one-on-one. Kind of like an unboxing, but not. I would say not, because we're not going to start from scratch, showing you the box, opening it up, going through it. We're going to do this quicker, so the video is more, I don't know, who wants to sit in front of a 20-minute video of an unboxing? All right, not me. So we will take some products week after week and bring them up, show you where they are on our website. Some products might be brand spanking new from the manufacturer. Some might be products that we might have had and just really never talked about. So that's what it's about. What you can do, leave your comments. Let us know how we're doing, how we're not doing. Can we do better? First thing, like this video. Help me out. Hit the like button right now. This is going to be obviously on Facebook, so make sure you like us and follow us. This is going to be on YouTube. Like us, make sure you follow us and subscribe. This way you can enter into the giveaways if you're brand new to the Big Jeff Audio channel. And if you're on TikTok, same thing. We do this for likes and follows. I'm begging like a dog. Give me some likes and follows. We'll keep doing this. We'll keep giving stuff away. Okay, so let's start this off. New arrival, week 1, June 12th to the 16th. You can see it up top. We're going to do this every week. I picked out some brand new items and some items that have already been here. All right, let's start at the top. Audiopipe is a brand that I've worked with since I was 15 years old, and back then Audiopipe was at the top of the list. People were really doing the eye candies and a bunch of other stuff. I wouldn't say they fell off, but the Audiopipe is owned by a much larger company, Nippon America, and they got so many things going on worldwide, but they've been doing more of a relaunch, especially this year. So we're going to give some efforts. First thing I'm going to talk about is the APMP H505TWR, which is a very heavy, work out with this thing, tower. I'm not really sure why it's so heavy, but I'm going to probably guess that this is not a regular speaker tower. It's a full range driver tower, so the magnet inside is huge. So you're going to get an actual coupling that goes on, and I believe all the way up to 3-inch. Mount it down, have this on there, this way, that way. You got on the back, ooh, some nice screw-on type terminals, which I like because the spring load over time is not so good. You can actually crank this down, and looks like you probably go all the way up to at least 12 gauge, maybe even 8 gauge wire if you wanted to. But this is a full range driver. Now I told you it's not going to be an unboxing, but I will pull a few specs out of this thing. Let me put this thing down. Man, that is heavy. I'm glad they have a very solid clamp, because that thing's got some weight. But let's look at this real quick. You're going to get a manual like this. Half Spanish, half English. Okay, real quick. Overall dimension 5 5/8. Speaker diameter is 7-inch. So it's like a normal size 6-inch, or in this case, I'm guessing the 5 stands for 5-inch driver. 160 watts peak, 80 watts RMS, frequency range 1800 to 20 kilohertz. Sensitivity 108 dB. That's super high. This thing should be loud. They are 8 ohms. It is a titanium diaphragm, 2-inch capped on voice coil. The magnet is 35 ounces and the throat size is 2-inch. They recommend you set the crossover at 5,000 hertz. So this is straight driver material. It is water resistant. They also put like a sponge material in here to stop the dust, and then I'm guessing at that point you can actually clean that out. It's a nice clean design, black with like a gunmetal gray, beefy, and at 108 dB this thing has to scream. They come in at 2 per set, and right now on our website $279.99 for the set. So this is where to go if you need some serious loud vocal. All right, so that's the Audiopipe. Let's go down to the next one. It is one of their marine amps, fully waterproof, not water resistant. This is really cool. Now, you've seen a lot of these that just have wires sticking out, but this actually gives you the whole amp kit attached. I mean, how cool is that? So this is the APTV-1100.6. So you can already see this thing is super small, super small. And looks like you have channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, waterproofed. All right, and then on here, looks like you have the speaker outputs. So then you have some nice flexible 8-gauge black, red, and a turn on, and attached to this you have a AGU style fuse. So buying this amp, and it's right now on our website at how much? So $449, 450 bucks. You're getting with the wire. Basically, you could take this, mount it in your motorcycle, your boat, your ATV, and I'll call it plug and play. Why? RCAs are here, and then you actually have a good amount of wire to run your power, ground, and your remote turn on. And then each of these are actually labeled for the speakers. And as you can see, this thing is really small. Well, I can tell you Audiopipe is very, very good on ratings. You get a manual here. This is IPX7 rated. You could dunk this in a bowl of water. It is a Class D full range. Let's look at some of the specs real quick. Okay, so what I didn't notice, which is cool, on the RCA side, if you could see this, can they see that? Yes, they can. You unscrew this panel, comes off, which is with a rubber seal, and you'll have your full range, high pass, low pass. You'll have your gain controls, all your everything's in here, sealed up. That's how this thing is completely waterproof. Okay, all right, RMS, 100 watts times 6 at 4 ohms. 160 watts times 6 at 2 ohms. These are RMS. 320 watts times 3 if it's bridged at 4 ohms. 12 dB per octave. Let's see, 12 hertz to 40 kilohertz, rated at 14.4 volts, and will play down to 10 volts, and will play as high as 16 volts. Man, for the size amp, the price, and what you get ready to plug and play, I think that's a hell of a deal. Big shout out to my guys at Audiopipe, man. All right, let's go down the list. We got one more Audiopipe. This is a marine grade amp, obviously, but it's not 100% waterproof. It is marine grade, water resistant. What do we have here? This is the APSR 811GS. This is a 6-channel. Oh, I'll take that back. 8-channel. That's actually pretty big, guys, right? All right, let's get into first. We'll get to the specs. Cool thing, you know, if you see under here, everything goes there, and they have this cover plate. So if you mount this, you'll see no wires at all. That's a huge thing for installation. So looking at this thing, I don't know, fuses don't always make it, but there is 4 30 amp ATC fuses in here. 4-gauge power ground remote. You have a remote for a bass knob, looks like a telephone cord. You have channel 1 through 6, and then under here you have your speaker terminals all the way across. You cover this up, it looks real nice. I think this is a great looking amp. I mean, for the size. Ben, how much is this on our website right now? All right, $639. You say, oh, a little bit expensive. It's Audiopipe, but not really. It's a marine grade amp, 6 channels. So let's look at the specs on it. Okay, so there's a ton of gain. So each set of channels has its own gain, crossover, so full, low, full, and high bass boost. That's on one. The other ones can be put into mono mode, stereo. So let me explain. All this thing is ready to be changed up from stereo, mono, full range, or not on each set of channels. That is really, really cool. Well, you say for $600, Big Jeff, is it worth it? Well, let's go in here. It shows how the plate comes off. Okay, output RMS 1% at 14.4. So at 14.4, stereo 4 ohms, 8 times 100. Talk about RMS. So 4 ohms, each channel, stereo, you get 100 watts each. That's a normal marine amp. So let's step it up. Stereo at 2 ohms, you get 150 watts times 8. So if I leave it in stereo, but I go 2 ohms, which is very common, doing 2 4 ohm speakers, you get 150 watts. Mono at 4 ohms, you get 4 times 300 watts. So this little amp is not going to run a bunch of subs, but if you're doing a job with a bunch of towers, speakers, this is an amp that would run it all with plenty of power. Man, I really like this. I think it's great for the price. Holding it, it looks definitely of high quality. So there's your Audiopipe APSR 811GS. Okay, let's move to DS18. We like it loud. You know that's a personal line to me. They just came out with their Medusas. What's a Medusa? Well, this thing is awesome. You have 12 gauge blue, 12 gauge white, 12 gauge red, 12 gauge black. Now that comes all the way down to the other end. They make this in a 30 foot and a 50 foot. Then you also have nice metal end, and I mean, you can hear that. These are solid. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So technically you can run 5 amps, right? Or 5 inputs because you have a left and a right, and that comes to the end. And then the other cool thing is they made this so you can actually mount this, say, coming up in the vehicle, screw that down so all this comes out. There's plenty of applications to use this. It is in a very thick rubbery material, so I think it is actually pliable for that much wire, guys. Look, I mean, I'm moving it pretty easy. I think the biggest use right now, if you're doing demo vehicle and you want to have the radio outside the vehicle, you have all the RCAs and you have power, ground, turn on everything to go to your handheld unit. What else could you use it for? Well, I know people use speed wire and RCAs, but you could basically run all that together in your vehicle with this underneath the vehicle and come right up or not. And then I would think you could actually take, and some people like to do this, they have batteries in the back, take the radio or your source unit and power it up in the back instead of the factory wiring. So you have basically ignition, a constant, a turn on, and a ground here from one end to the other. So there's multiple applications. This thing's a beast. It's actually pretty heavy. It comes in 30 foot and 50 foot. The part number is the DS-MDSA10-4, and then either 30 foot or 50 foot. So you can find this on our website. It's going up by the time you watch this video. You can get in a 30 foot or 50 foot length. Okay, so next, Timpano. Timpano is a Brazilian brand, and they just changed their amplifiers. Well, all they did was, and again, I don't know if there's much changed on the inside. I can tell you this one has 2 fans. It's in a black, nice gloss look. It is still the Brazilian amp. On the front, you have power, protect, and clipping. These are right now on our website. This is a TPT 3002 ohm for $200 for a 3000 watt amp RMS, Brazilian made. So they will have the 1 ohm. They are making this like the rest, the 5000, the 8000 on up. So there it is right there. Also, I don't know if some of y'all know, the older ones used to have this plastic that would just rip anyway. This seems a little bit different. So if you didn't open it up, it wouldn't just open itself up. Okay, Marts Digital. So we've been talking a lot about that. We sell a lot of Marts Digital amps. They are Brazilian design, made in China, so you get a good price point. We just recently had them come out to our location. They are starting to build our orders directly at the factory and have the containers come directly to us. Why is this good? Well, the biggest reason is inventory. Since the Marts has launched, we've been out of amps a lot of times because it's selling so fast. I don't think anybody thought. Parker the Basshead used them. So many people used them, got them online. Great. The return rate is like less than 1%. So told them, hey, we keep running out of product, we need more, especially with the new line they're coming out, the MP series. But anyway, they're going to start doing direct shipments. Part of that is this bad boy right here. This is not an amplifier. No, this is a DC power supply. They make two of them. One is the Banani 75, and this one I'm going to hand the Chamberlin 120. Basically, you plug this into an AC power, and then this will turn into 12 volts or more with amperage. Really cool. So on the front, let me turn this around. You're going to have an LED display that will show voltage and amperage, okay? And then you have a tuning screw here to go from 12.3 volts to 14.4 volts. You have fan cooled, which will kick on and off as needed, because busting out 120 amps of power at 14 volts will create heat. And then you have nice, looks like 4 gauge outputs. What would I use this for? Well, we use it right now. We use a DS18 one for the golf cart. When the golf cart obviously doesn't have an alternator and we park it, we can plug it in with an Anderson clip and we charge the batteries, or we can play it nonstop. The other reason is on our test bench, we have batteries, but we have to charge the batteries. So we have a power supply from DS18 on there, and the power supply supplies voltage and amperage to run the test bench, run the amplifiers, also charge the batteries. Let's just say you're having a little shop in your garage or your business and you need a test bench, or you want to power something up outside of a car, you need a power supply. If you had a big demo vehicle, which we're planning to do 3 of these in the Yukon, hair tricks for $1. So we have our generator there. We can plug these in and then keep the levels high on the Yukon while it's not running. Why would you want to run a vehicle nonstop idling? It's just bad for the motor. So if you have access to power, this is the way to do it. So right now you can go on our website. There is a 120 amp and 75 amp version, and looking at the cost, you can get into the 120 amps of power, $329 right now. Really not expensive when you're talking about getting an alternator being $500 or more. You can have a power supply. You can mount this in the vehicle, leave the cord out, or on your garage, on your test bench, pretty much anywhere it needs a 12 volt supply with some amperage. So we have these in stock right now. Check out bigjeffaudio.com. Great. So we went through some new products. I tried to do it as fast as possible. You can go to our website to actually bring them up and look at the full specs and the prices. bigjeffaudio.com. You can text us, WhatsApp us, email us. If you're trying to get hold of us with text or phone call, 737-BIG-JEFF. That's 737-244-5333. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please like this video right now, and whatever platform you're on, follow us. Help us out, which in return allows us to do more videos like this and also more giveaways. So this is week 1 of the new arrival, new playlist, June 12th through the 16th. I'm Big Jeff Audio. I'm going to see you next week with some more product. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something particular you want us to bring on the show. I'll see you soon.